The power drill buzzed loudly in my hand, sending vibrations up my arm as I drove the heavy bolt deep into the siding of our house. The sharp scent of freshly cut pine and hot metal filled the air around me. Dad, are you sure this is gonna work? My 9-year-old son Jake called up from the ground, his voice a mix of excitement and nervousness.
We just need to finish the roof.
I wiped the sweat from my brow and grinned down at him. It has to, buddy. This is our fort and no one's taking it away. Suddenly, a high-pitched shriek sliced through the quiet afternoon like a siren. What on earth do you think you're doing over there?
Structure is completely
It was Pamela Hargrove, our neighborhood's HOA president, and the resident Karen marching across.
It's just a treehouse,
Grass like
Pamela.
she owned the place, which in her mind she probably did. Her face was flushed, red eyes bulging with indignation.
Section D,
that
subsection
eyesore
12
in the tree was bad enough, but attaching it to the house.
It's just a treehouse,
This is a clear violation.
The
Take it down
love
right now or ill. Oh man, you could feel the tension in the air thicker than the summer humidity. My heart started pounding hard in my chest as I climbed down the ladder, the metal rungs cool against my palms. Let me back up a little and tell you exactly how we got to this crazy moment, because folks, you are not going to believe what this woman put my family through.
Dad,
it all started last summer when Jake came to me with those big hopeful eyes and said, Dad, can we build a tree fort?
We absolutely can, buddy.
I mean, how do you say no to that? We spent weeks planning it together, the smell of fresh lumber stacked in the driveway, the sound of saws cutting through wood on weekends, and Jake's laughter echoing as we hammered nails side by side. The fort was his pride and joy, a little wooden castle high up in the big oak tree in our backyard, with a rope ladder, a small window, and even a pulley system for snacks. He spent hours up there pretending to be a pirate or an astronaut or whatever adventure his imagination cooked up.
Roger
It was
that,
perfect,
Houston.
simple innocence, and it made my boy happy. Then Pamela showed up for the first time. She lived 3 houses down, but acted like she ran the entire block as HOA president. I remember the day clearly. The sun was beating down and I was mowing the lawn when she pulled up in her spotless SUV, clipboard already in hand. Mark, that structure in your tree is not approved, she said with that tight little smile that never reached her eyes.
3B.
It violates section 4.2 on unauthorized structures.
Pamela,
It's an eyesore and the neighbors have been complaining.
Absolute eyesore.
Neighbors. I knew it was just her. Most folks in our quiet suburban neighborhood loved seeing kids play outside. But Pamela was on a power trip. She sent the first warning letter the next week, then another, each one more threatening than the last. Fines starting at $500 a day if we didn't tear it down. Can you imagine? $500 a day for a kid's tree fort. My wife Sarah and I sat at the kitchen table that night, the smell of coffee strong in the air as we read the letters over and over.
But the
What are we
fort,
going to
Mark?
do? She asked, her
It took
voice
him
full
weeks
of
to
worry
build it.
and
How could they
frustration.
just destroy it like
Jake
that?
had already
honey.
started asking if
We'll
his
figure it
fort was
out.
going to be destroyed.
Son,
The look on his face when
I
I
know
tried
this
to
is hard to
explain broke
understand,
my
but-
heart. I sighed deeply, rubbing my temples. I wasn't about to let some busybody ruin my son's childhood over a few boards and nails. So I did what any determined dad would do. I researched the HOA rules late into the night, the glow of the computer screen hurting my eyes while Sarah slept. And
Wait
that's
a
when I
minute.
found it.
The setback variance for attached
The
structures.
covenants
That's
said
it.
nothing about structures attached
I
to
found
the
the
house.
loophole.
Decks and extensions were allowed with proper permits, of course, but if I bolted the fort right to the siding and called it a deck extension, well, maybe, just maybe, it would fly.
We're
The next
finally
morning,
gonna
I
find
told Jake
Captain
the plan.
Bluebeard's treasure buried right
His
under this
eyes
oak
lit
tree.
up like Christmas
Are you
morning.
ready for adventure?
Really,
I am
Dad?
so ready.
I nodded,
I
pulling him
love
into
you,
a
son.
big hug, feeling
I
the
love you
warmth
too,
of his little
Dad.
body against mine. We're not giving up without a fight, buddy. That's how I ended up on that ladder with the drill in my hand, bolts and tools scattered on the grass below.
This
Pamela
is
was still
absolutely
yelling, her voice
unacceptable,
rising
Mark.
higher
you
with
are
every word.
violating the agreement.
You can't
I'm
just
just
do whatever
cleaning
you
the
want, Mark.
gutters, Pamela.
In
I
calling
don't
an
care
emergency
what you're
board
doing.
meeting.
Stop it
This
right
will not
now.
stand. I turned
know
to
it's
face
just
her,
wood
trying
and
to keep
drywall
my
to
voice
some,
steady,
but
even
this
though my
house holds
pulse was
every
racing.
memory we've made.
Pamela
I
is
can't just
attached
walk
to the
away.
house now.
You
It's a deck.
think this is funny?
She
I
laughed
am
bitterly, a
calling
short,
an
sharp sound that
emergency
sent chills down my
board
spine.
meeting, and
You think you're so
will
clever.
all answer
They'll have the
for
whole
this.
board here by tomorrow. And you will regret this. Clicking angrily on the pavement, I let out a long breath I didn't know I was holding. Jake ran up and hugged my leg. "Thanks, Dad," he whispered.
Dad.
The backyard felt peaceful again for a moment, the birds chirping and a gentle breeze rustling the leaves. But I knew this was only the beginning. Pamela wasn't going to let this go. Not by a long shot.
He
That
made
evening,
it.
as the sun
I
dipped
knew
low,
he could
painting
do
the
it.
sky in oranges and pinks, Sarah and I sat on the back porch watching Jake climb up into his new deck fort. The wood still smelled fresh and the bolts gleamed in the fading light. We held hands and I felt a surge of pride mixed with dread. We had won the first round, but the war was just starting. Little did I know how far Pamela would go or how sweet the eventual payback would taste. You guys ever had someone try to stomp on your family's joy like that?
I want to be
makes
clear
your
about
blood
this.
boil, doesn't
We
it?
are not backing down.
But
Not
sometimes
now,
the best
not
revenge
ever.
is just
This is our
refusing to
home,
back down.
and we're here to
The
stay.
next morning, the doorbell rang before I even finished my first cup of coffee. The
Mr.
sharp
Thompson,
chime cut through the quiet
we need
house
to
like a
discuss
warning.
the recent budget
I opened the
allocation
door to find
immediately.
Pamela standing there with
Pamela,
two other board
this
members
really isn't
flanking
a
her
good
like
time.
bodyguards.
This
She
is
thrust an
unacceptable,
official-looking
Mark.
envelope into my
the
hand,
board
her
demands
nails
an
painted a
immediate
harsh
meeting
red.
regarding the
Emergency
merger.
meeting
5
notice, she
minutes,
snapped.
or there will
Tonight
be
at 7.
consequences.
Be there
Understood,
or face immediate
Pamela.
fines. My
I've
stomach
made my
tightened,
decision
but I
on
kept
this,
my face
Pamela.
calm. Thanks,
There is
Pamela.
nothing
We'll
more
be
to
there.
discuss.
She turned without another word, her perfume leaving a heavy cloud in the doorway. Sarah came up behind me, wrapping her arms around my waist. "This is getting
You know
ridiculous,"
this is
she sighed, her breath
ridiculous,
warm
right?
against my shoulder. "I know,"
Yeah,
I replied,
I
"but we're
know.
not backing down." That day I spent hours preparing. I printed out the HOA bylaws, highlighted the sections about attached structures, and even called a friend who was a contractor to confirm the loophole. The sound
king
of
of
Jake
the
playing in the
castle.
backyard with his friends drifted through the
No
open
fair.
window there.
Wait for us.
Laughter mixing
I'm
with the
coming
creak of the
too.
rope ladder. It reminded
Good
me
evening.
why I was fighting so
I
hard.
appreciate
At
everyone
the meeting,
taking the time to
community
be
center
here.
was packed.
I
The
know
air felt
tensions are
stuffy with
high
tension
regarding
and
the
the faint
proposed
smell of old
development.
coffee.
I have
Pamela
the evidence
stood at the
right
front, her
here.
voice
This
booming through
serious
the microphone.
violation threatens the very
Ladies and
fabric of our
gentlemen, we have a
community, and we
serious
must address
violation
it
in our
immediately. Mr.
Mark Thompson has
this
attached an
unauthorized pergola
unauthorized structure
violates
to his
Section
home, claiming
4B
it's a
of the
deck.
community bylaws. You know
This
you can't
sets a
just build whatever
dangerous
you want.
precedent.
Neighbors,
Whispers rippled through the crowd.
if I could just have your attention for a
Some neighbors
moment.
nodded in agreement, but others shifted uncomfortably.
I understand the concerns we
I
all
stood
share.
up, my heart hammering.
The
With all
rules
due respect,
clearly
Pamela,
allow
the
for
rules
attached
allow
decks.
attached decks.
And as you can
I
see,
bolted the tree
I
fort to the house.
personally bolted the
It's
fort
now part of the
directly
structure.
to the house structure
Check the
itself.
covenants yourself. She
This
glared at me, her cheeks
monstrosity
turning
is
pink.
nothing but
This
a
isn't
tree
a deck,
fort
it's a
on
tree fort on steroids.
And I assure
You're
you,
twisting the
there will
rules.
be a
The board will
substantial
vote on a fine tonight. The
Now
debate
just
went
hold
on for
on a
over an
moment.
hour.
I remember
Voices
building
rose and
forts
fell,
as a
arguments
boy,
flying back
and
and
it taught
forth.
me a lot.
One older neighbor
We
stood
should let
up
the
and
boy
said, "Let
have
the
his
kid have his
fun."
fort. It's not
Pamela
hurting
has
anyone."
complained about everything
You've complained
from
about
mailbox
everything from mailbox colors to garden gnomes. Maybe
I
it's
think
time
it's
to
time
ease up.
to ease up.
But
I
Pamela
don't care
wasn't
what
having
you
it.
think. Rules
She pounded the
are
table, her
rules,
voice cracking with
and they
frustration.
must be followed.
Rules are rules. Next. In the end, the board voted to table the decision for further review. I walked out of there with Sarah by my side, feeling a small victory, but knowing the fight wasn't over. Jake was waiting at home, his eyes wide with hope. Did we
Did
win,
we
Dad?
win, Dad?
His hair, but we're close. The following weeks were a blur of stress and small joys. Fines started arriving in the mail, each one making my blood pressure spike. Pamela drove by our house slowly every evening, her eyes scanning the backyard like a hawk. I could almost hear her sigh of annoyance from the street. Meanwhile, Jake and I added railings to the deck, making it even sturdier. The feel of the hammer in my hand, the satisfying thud of nails going in it, all felt like defiance in physical form.
I still
Sarah and
can't
I grew
believe
closer
Pamela
through
said
it
that.
all,
It was
late night
completely
talks
out
over
of
wine
line.
that tastes bitter on
tell
my
me
tongue
about
as
it.
we vented about
She
Pamela.
always manages to
One
ruin
evening
everything
she asked,
with
"Do you
your
think we're
passive
being too
aggression."
stubborn?" I shook
It's
my
about
head.
showing
This is
Jake
about more
to
than a fort.
stand up for what's
It's about
right.
showing Jake that you stand up for what's right even when it's hard. Then came the first twist.
Mark,
A neighbor named
look
Mrs. Reynolds
closely.
stopped me
See
while I was
that
taking out the trash.
monstrosity?
She
It's
leaned in close the
completely
evening air cool around
unpermitted.
us.
Unpermitted?
You know Pamela has her own little shed in the
Pamela
back that
did
isn't
that?
permitted either.
You
Hypocrite
won't
if you ask me.
believe it, Mark.
My eyes widened.
Pamela
Really?
has been
She
telling
nodded with a knowing
everyone
smile.
she's single.
Keep fighting, Mark.
But she's
Some of us
secretly
are on your
married
side.
to the mayor.
That bit of information lit a fire under me. I started documenting everything quietly, snapping photos of our deck and noting every rule. Pamela seemed to bend herself. The frustration was building, but so was my determination. Pamela thought she could bully us into submission. She had no idea what was coming. Jake sensed the tension, but he stayed positive, climbing into his deck. Every afternoon the wood warmed from the sun under his hands. "Dad, this is the best fort ever," he said one day, his voice full of pure joy. It made every argument, every fine worth it.
Best fort
As the days turned into weeks, the neighborhood buzzed with gossip. Some
I
took
think
Pamela's
Pamela
side, but
is
more
right.
started
The
questioning her
bylaws are
overreach.
clear.
I could feel the tide
But
slowly turning.
stapling it to the
But
oak
Pamela
tree,
doubled down,
that's
sending
just
another notice, this one threatening
passive-aggressive.
legal action.
Don't
Her
think
voice
for
on
a
the phone
second this is
message was
over,
laced
Mark.
with venom.
You clearly underestimated
This
me,
isn't
and that
over,
is a
Mark.
mistake you will
I
not.
hung up and stared out at the backyard, the deck standing strong against the house. No, it wasn't over, but I was ready for whatever she threw next. The legal letter arrived on a Tuesday morning, thick and official looking. My hands shook slightly as I opened it, the paper crisp under my fingers. Pamela's doing, of course, threatening a lawsuit if we didn't remove the deck immediately. Sarah read it over my shoulder, her breath catching. "This is getting out of hand," she said softly. I felt a
Wow,
wave of anger
pancakes.
mixed with exhaustion.
Can we go to the
The
park
smell
after
of breakfast
breakfast?
still lingered in the kitchen, but my appetite
I'm so
was gone.
hungry.
Jake
Slow
came
down,
bounding
buddy.
in from the backyard,
Yeah,
his
we
cheeks
can eat.
flushed from playing. "What's wrong, Dad?" he asked, sensing the mood.
What's wrong,
"Nothing,
Dad?
buddy," I lied, forcing a smile. Just some grown-up stuff.
See,
that
right
afternoon
here in
I
Clause
called a
B,
lawyer
this doesn't
friend of
match what
mine,
we
the
discussed.
conversation
We can't agree to
stretching
this
long
liability.
as we
I
went over the
understand, Mark,
documents.
but that's standard
The
He
language.
confirmed the
loophole is
loophole was
solid,
solid, but
be
warned that
warned,
Pamela could drag
Pamela
this out.
could very well
"Hang in
drag
there," he
this out
said.
until your
"These
mid-30s.
HOA
My
types hate when people
mid-30s.
push back."
You
The stress
always
was
do
starting
this,
to show.
Sarah. You just ignore the problem
Sarah
until
and I
it blows
argued a little
up.
that night
Me.
over dinner, the
I'm
clink
the
of
one
forks on
ignoring
plates
it.
louder
you
than
haven't
usual.
listened to a word I've said.
I sighed deeply, rubbing my eyes. "I just want our family to have peace." She reached across the table, squeezing my hand. "We will. But you're doing the right thing." Meanwhile, Pamela was everywhere.
And
She
then she
cornered
had the
neighbors at the
nerve to
mailbox,
say
her
it was
voice
my
carrying on the
roses
breeze
that were
as she
blocking
spread
the
her version of
sunlight.
events.
I mean,
"Mark
can
is
you
ruining the
believe
neighborhood aesthetic," she
audacity of
claimed
that woman?
dramatically.
Mark,
I heard her from my driveway one
Mark.
day and had to bite my tongue to keep from yelling back. Then came the HOA
this
board
document
meeting, part
clearly
2.
shows that the funds
The
allocated
room
for
was
the pool
even more
repair were
crowded this time,
diverted
the air
elsewhere.
thick with anticipation.
Mark,
Pamela
the
laid out her
projections
case
for
again, her words
Q3 are
sharp and
completely
accusing.
unacceptable.
But this time I was
We
prepared.
discussed the targets,
I
and
stood up
frankly,
with my
this
folder
falls
of evidence,
far
the
short
pages
of what the
slightly
board
worn from
expects.
handling.
The
Not only
evidence
is the
in this
deck compliant,
folder
I said, but I have
confirms that
photos showing
Pamela's
Pamela's
shed
own
is,
unpermitted shed in her
fact,
backyard. Double
entirely
standards, anyone.
unpermitted.
Gasps rippled through the crowd.
I
Pamela
already
sputtered, her
told
face
you,
turning
it's
beet
not
red.
an eyesore,
That is
it's
completely
for
different, she snapped.
storage. We
It's
agreed
for
on
storage.
this.
But the damage was done. Whispers
But
grew
it's
louder,
falling
some neighbors
apart.
nodding in agreement.
I
One
suggest
man
we
even stood
review
up and
all
said,
the
"Maybe it's
structures,
time we review
including
all structures,
Pamela's."
including yours,
That
Pamela."
concludes the meeting for
The meeting
today.
ended without a decision, but the momentum had shifted. I walked out feeling lighter, the cool
Dad,
night air
you made
refreshing
it!
after the stuffy room.
Hey, buddy.
Jake and Sarah were
it's
waiting in the
finally
car.
done.
"How did
I'm
it go,
so
Dad?"
glad
Jake
you're
asked, his
home.
eyes hopeful.
Better than expected.
I replied, pulling them both into a hug.
Here
Over
are
the next
some
few
cookies,
days, support poured
freshly
in.
baked just for you.
Neighbors
your head
stopped
up.
by with
We are
encouragement.
all here
One
to
even
help.
brought homemade
Thank you both
cookies, the
so
sweet
much. That
smell
means a
filling our
lot.
kitchen. Jake was over the
Ahoy,
moon
me
playing in his
hearties!
deck fort with
Set the
newfound
sails
confidence.
and prepare to
The wood
board.
creaked softly under
We've
his
got
feet as
them
he
now.
shouted pirate commands to imaginary crew. But Pamela wasn't done. She started a petition to change the rules retroactively, her frustration evident in every email blast. I could picture her sighing dramatically as she typed each one. The tension in the neighborhood was palpable, like a storm about to break. One evening, as the sun set in a blaze of color, Jake looked at me from the deck.
Dad,
thanks for
thank
fighting
you
for
so
me.
much for fighting
My
for
heart
us.
swelled
It means
with love
everything
and
to me.
resolve.
Hey, buddy.
I'd do
I'd fight
anything
for
for
you
you, kid,
forever.
I said, my voice
I
thick
love
with
you, son.
emotion.
We're
The
in this
was
fight
far
together,
from over, but
as
we
a
were in
family.
it together.
Pamela won't
had
stand a
picked the wrong
chance if
family
we
to
stick
mess with.
together.
This is
Things
Pamela
escalated
Hargrove, and I
quickly
demand
after
to
that.
speak to a supervisor right now.
Pamela
Your
filed an
department has
official
ignored
complaint
my
with the city,
permits
her
for the
voice
last
on
time.
recorded
I am
messages
filing a
growing
formal
more frantic.
complaint.
I could hear the desperation creeping in as she realized the neighborhood wasn't fully behind her anymore. The backyard felt like a battlefield, the deck standing tall as a symbol of our defiance. I spent nights researching deeper, the glow of the laptop screen reflecting in my tired eyes. Sarah brought me coffee, the warm mug steadying my hands.
Just
"You've got
remember
this," she
why we're
whispered,
doing
kissing my
this.
forehead.
You'll be great.
Then the big twist hit. A
We're
local
coming
news
to you
reporter
live from
somehow
outside
got
the
wind of the
suburban
story.
home where
A
the
small
twist
town
of the
feud
day
over a tree
just
fort turned
occurred.
deck. The article
Everyone
went viral
loves
in our
the
community,
tree
the comments
fort
flooding
story.
in mostly in our favor. People shared stories of their own HOA nightmares, and
Pamela
suddenly
is
Pamela was the
definitely
villain
the
in
villain
everyone's
here.
eyes.
Truly
She tried
remarkable,
to fight back
Gerald.
harder,
Not a
organizing a
single
special
weed.
inspection.
Miss Hargrove, your
Officials
lawn is an
showed up one bright
inspiration.
afternoon,
I know.
clipboards in
It
hand,
takes
the sun
real
beating down
dedication
on
to
us all.
beauty.
Under
Pamela
Section
stood smugly on the
4B of the
sidewalk,
Municipal
arms
Code,
crossed.
this inspection
told
is
you it was illegal.
invalid. You are
But the inspector,
trespassing,
after measuring
and I
and
will be
reviewing
pressing
paperwork,
charges.
shrugged. Looks
I've
compliant
checked
to me.
the measurements,
It's attached
and
properly
it
and
appears
meets code.
everything is
Pamela looked like
completely
she
up
might
to
explode,
code.
her face contorted in pure frustration. "This can't be right," she muttered under her breath.
I
That
think
night we
that's his
celebrated
third
small
slice
style
already.
with pizza in the backyard, the cheesy aroma mixing
Let him
with the
enjoy
evening
it,
breeze.
Fernando. It
Jake
is
was
delicious
beaming as he ate
pizza.
slice after slice.
We
did
did
it, Dad. Winning.
Look at that.
Before
Pamela
you vote,
retaliated
you
with one
need to
last
see
desperate
this.
move.
This
She
changes
tried to get the board to
everything
vote her
we
way
discussed.
again, but this time the tide had turned completely.
The shed
Neighbors
permits
who
were
once
clearly
stayed
an act
silent
of
spoke up
favoritism,
about her
Pamela.
overreach.
This hypocrisy
One
ends
even
now.
mentioned the shed again, the
It is
hypocrisy now
completely
public knowledge.
unacceptable.
I felt a surge of hope mixed with exhaustion. The constant stress had worn on all of us, but seeing Jake so happy made it worth every second. The deck had become more than a fort, it was a testament to standing up for what matters. The final confrontation came at the big annual HOA meeting. The hall was packed, standing room,
Before
only
we
the air
vote on the
electric with
budget,
anticipation.
I need
Pamela
to
took the
say
stage, her
something
usual
about
confidence,
the
cracked her hands,
landscaping
trembling
contract.
slightly on the podium.
We
We
must
need to enforce
uphold
the
these
rules, she
standards.
began, but her
the
voice
rules
wavered.
are clear,
I
and
stood
we
up,
cannot
microphone in
simply
hand, my
ignore.
heart steady
Madam
now.
Chair, I
Pamela,
must
you
insist
bullied
on
this
a point
neighborhood
of
long
order.
enough.
We
My
cannot
family
let
just wanted a
Pamela
place for our
continue to
son to
bully
play,
our
and you
neighborhood.
turned it into
It
a
is time
war.
for us, the
But we stood
families of this
strong, and
community,
now
to
everyone
stand
sees the double
strong
standards.
together.
The crowd
Excuse me,
erupted in
Mr.
applause.
Johnson, this is
Evidence of her
completely
own
irregular.
violations was presented,
we painted the
photos
shed
of the shed clear
exactly
as
as
day.
approved. You're
Pamela
all
tried
just
to defend
overreacting.
herself, but it was too late. The board voted her out on the spot, her face pale with shock and humiliation. She stormed out the door, slamming it behind her, the sound echoing like finality. Weeks later, we heard she stepped down completely and even faced a small fine for her own infractions. Bitter ending for her, but justice felt sweet. Our deck stayed standing stronger than ever. Jake played in it every day, his laughter filling the backyard like music.
You're
Sarah
doing
and I sat
great,
watching him
sweetie.
one evening, the sun warm on our skin. "We did good," she said, squeezing
We
my
did
hand.
good.
Yeah, I replied.
We built
This was
something
never just about a
special
fort.
here, didn't we?
It was about protecting our family's
We
joy
protected
against
our
anyone who
joy.
tries to take it away.
Look,
To
when you
anyone
see
listening
someone
out there
acting like
facing
a
their own
bully
Karen
or a
or
Karen,
bully, stand
you
up.
have to stand up.
Fight smart, fight
It's not
fair,
just
and
about
never
you,
let petty
it's about
rules steal the
protecting the
simple
happiness
happiness
of our
from your
kids.
We finally
Creativity and love
finished it.
always win in the end.
It's beautiful,
Justice
honey.
prevails, and your family
Look how
grows
strong it
closer
is.
through the fire.
Dinner's
Our deck
almost
is
ready,
still
you
there
two.
today, a reminder that sometimes you just have to
Coming,
bolt down
Dad.
what matters and call it
This
yours.
fort is amazing.
Thanks for
Thanks so
listening
much
to our
for
story,
listening
folks.
to our story.
If
Now
it
it's your
inspired you to
turn.
stand up for your own
Drop
family,
a
drop a comment below.
and stand up for your
Until
family.
next time, keep building those dreams.